My mantra, the thing that I live in all the time, is don't tell them what you want to tell them. Tell them what they want and need to hear. As long as you are always about value for the other person, which means getting to know your audience. You have to know them well enough, understand them, research them to understand what is valuable to them. But if you can create value from the first word to the last word in everything that you say within your talk, that is a guarantee of success. Great executive leadership not only knows how to get a product moving across the market, they also know how to empower those who are working for them and alongside them, how to get them excited through the story of the brand itself so that they believe in something more deeply than just the bottom line, and how to get the customer to feel the same way. This is a very, very difficult lightning in a bottle to catch. This is an X factor that the most successful brands in the world have managed to achieve, but that most brands end up chasing for a certain period of time before they either adapt, die, or get absorbed into another brand. Our stories are unique simply by the fact that we're willing to stand up and tell them. And within a corporate environment, for entrepreneurs, for business leaders, it becomes even more important for us to share our stories because each one truly does take a unique approach to a specific set of challenges and problems. And it's just in sharing it that we create leadership for ourselves and for others.
How can we ratchet down that message a little bit with a few less zeros and also successfully tell a story?
All right, one of my favorite things that I ever saw, I was driving down the freeway in LA, and I looked over and there was a white panel van next to me. And it was for an electrician. And the name of this guy's company was We Show Up. We Show Up Electricians. And I thought, I don't know what storytelling, right? All of a sudden we want to go out and we want to rename our company We Show Up. And I thought, boy, if that's not brilliant corporate storytelling, I don't know what is. The smallest organization in the world, tiniest startup, I'm telling you, if you are Joe's Plumber and you are a one-man operation, you can tell your corporate story in as intelligent and effective way that Apple or Bayer or Audi or any of these large corporations do. A great story benefits everybody. So if your Joe's Plumber brand can create that value, passion, and connection for your audience, you will be victorious over Vito's Plumbing and Rachel's Plumbing and Scott's Plumbing and whoever else I mentioned a couple of moments ago.
If I'm going to take time out of your busy life for the two of us to talk, there better be a good reason, and I better make it valuable and exciting and interesting and engaging for you. Why am I giving this talk? What value do I want to create for them? How do I make them more successful with the communication and the conversation we're about to have? And until I know those things, I can't now incorporate the documentation or the capabilities or those statistics or metrics into my conversation, because otherwise I could just be spitting those into the wind. It's a scattershot approach where I'm just pitching everybody in the same way. And the first line that I have in the book is, none of us like to be pitched, but everyone loves a great story. If you receive pushback, argumentation, negativity from somebody out there in the room, it means they're engaged in what you're saying. They're hearing you, and they're involved in the conversation, and they want to get even more involved. That is gold for you. The reality is your audience is likely to remember between 3 and 8% of what it is that you told them. A lot of people find this depressing. Why in the world should I put together an entire sales presentation if they're going to forget anywhere between 92 and 97% of what it is that I say? What I say is no. Think of it the other way around. Flip it on its head. It is empowering to you, because now that you know that the bulk of what you talk about in any communication is going to slip through the cracks, you have the ability to target what is the 3 to 8% that I want them to remember about our conversation, about our communication, about my presentation, about my product, or about my brand. How much more fun is it to talk about our failures than it is to talk about it? Yeah. Success is bore the living hell out of people. They're like, oh, good for you. Your life is so grand. You make all this money. You got all this power, blah, blah, blah. Talk to me about where you screwed up. What did you do wrong? I am no better than anybody else in that room. It just may be that in that moment, I have got some information that can improve somebody else's life, that can empower them, make them more successful, give them a leg up, break down an obstacle or a barrier that they've been fighting up against, or I might be able to inspire them to take that next step toward their new successful reality. True winning communication is about service. It's not about braggadocio. It's not about how much I know and how little you know. It's how can I help, benefit, support, serve you.
What do you think about the call to action?
I always think of it as a point of conversion, right? If you don't have a strong call to action at the conclusion of a talk, there was no point in the talk that preceded it. It has to lead somewhere, right? You have made a promise to your audience. You're done with your talk. You have delivered on your promise for them. You have given them value. You did exactly what you said you were going to do, and now you get to ask them for a promise in return. Right? Yes, exactly. It's a partnership. It's a cooperation. It's a conversation. If you include what I think are the 3 top benefits of a call to action for the speaker and for the audience, you achieve instant value.